To understand Islam and the Muslim world more, buy my book The Curse of God, Why I Left Islam, available in all your favorite online bookstores. A city in India, Bangalore, was turned upside down over, again, blasphemy. These snowflakey, good-for-nothing peacefuls can't tolerate anything. More often than not, they're actually the instigators. Now, again, I don't want to say they as in like every time every Muslim is responsible for it. Of course not. But when we look at these incidents one by one, we see there's so many problems that they don't show you in the media. They don't even non-Muslims don't show you that in the media, because Muslims have very successfully created this fear of being labeled as Islamophobic. And we know of all the religions, Islam undoubtedly is the most aggressive one and the most intolerant one. We have tons of footage where Muslims are desecrating temples, statues, idols, abusing people, their religion and everything. But when it comes to them, they don't even allow people like us to just criticize Islam in a civilized manner. They don't even allow us that. I've never shown the cartoons of Muhammad. I've never called him the P word. I've never done any of that. Obviously, I've been sarcastic in my approach, but I've never abused him. But then these pious Muslims have no shame in abusing other people's religions out of nowhere, and then they cry Islamophobia. So this is the kind of a incident that just recently took place in Bangalore. Have a look at this video. So there's so many other photos. You can go and have a look. Bangalore Riots. They shouldn't even be called riots. Somebody actually rightfully said that they should be called Bangalore terrorist attacks, because there was no Hindu versus Muslim thing going on. It was just Muslims burning buildings. They attacked a police station, and I don't know how many people got killed. But why it happened, over what it happened. So let me show you this photo. So what happened, there was a Muslim who was mocking a Hindu goddess called Durga. And they made a sexualized image. They put Prime Minister Modi behind Durga goddess, kind of in a sexual innuendo, etc., and then cursing the Hindu goddess. I don't care about that. I really, even most Hindus don't care about that. They actually don't. For some reason, they always get triggered with Durga goddess. I don't know, because one of my Facebook page actually also made a kind of distasteful but a funny meme about Durga goddess, and then that was the only time when I saw so many triggered Hindus over their religion. They do get triggered for other reasons, but over their religion, that was the only time. But again, here, so somebody made a Durga cartoon where they sexualized it. So some Hindu who happened to be a nephew of a congressman, Indian Congress, and he posted a cartoon of Muhammad and Aisha, where Aisha is sitting on Muhammad's lap, and it says Muhammad was 52 and Aisha was 9. Basically, he was quoting Sahih Bukhari, that a lot of Muslims actually acknowledge that. They have no problem with that. And then they burnt the city down. They turned it upside down. So, and that's not only something new. Have a look at another video.
هذه بلد مسلم صح؟ ليش هذا احنا؟ هذه بلد مسلم صح؟ مو من كافر صح؟ اوكي انت مسلم؟ مسلم الكفر صح ولا لا؟
هذه ديرة حمد بن عيسى.
حمد بن عيسى يرضى بهذا؟
يلا جيب منها بس.
Now, I think it's somewhere in some Arab country. Somebody said either Oman or Bahrain, which kind of shows you how they behave in their own countries. It's Arab. How can you have a idol on in our grocery store, departmental store, whatever kind of a store that was, and without any shame, she started breaking those idols. Just imagine for a moment if somebody even in India, forget about other Western countries, even in India, they started drawing the cartoon of Muhammad and start burning the Quran. Just imagine that. Just imagine what would happen. You just saw that burning of that street where what that was going on in Bangalore. The whole India would burn. With what face do they actually demand people like us not to criticize their religion when this is how they behave themselves? No one would. I know even progressive Muslims would very barely, even advanced progressive modern Muslims might condemn this, and they would also only condemn it when they're pushed. Even normal modern progressive Muslims, they would turn a blind eye, they would look away, they would make excuses, they would be like, well, this is an Arab country, it's an Islamic country, you shouldn't have that, blah blah. They will make all types of excuses, but they would not condemn this behavior. But the moment you criticize Muhammad, his 9-year-old child bride, or the multiple wives he had, some of the sex slaves that he had, the moment you start talking about that, they start demanding your head. Nothing less. They start demanding your head. And then they get triggered. I just don't understand what kind of a hypocrisy these people have. But I think the world is slowly waking up to it. And it's our responsibility. And I think it's the responsibility of ex-Muslims to talk about these things, because this is our mess, unfortunately. It is our mess. They might say, oh, well, if you left Islam, don't talk about it. No, we're going to talk about it. We're going to expose you. Because if a Hindu does it, then he would be an Islamophobe. If a white man does it, he'd be an Islamophobe. What are you going to call us? Call us Islamophobe? Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever. It's like a black man calling another black person the N-word. It doesn't mean anything. So you can call us Islamophobe, you can call us racist towards you, whatever, anti-Muslim bigots, whatever. You can call us all of that. It just wouldn't stick. And we know it doesn't stick. We know that these apologists know that ex-Muslims are rising. There's so many people leaving Islam. And for that very reason, because we can't live with your hypocrisy, we have to expose your bullshit and hypocrisy to the world. So, by the way, what happened then? Some Muslims came out after these attacks on government buildings in Bangalore.
इंशाअल्लाह ये चीज हमारी अमानत है, हम इसकी हिफाजत ही करेंगे इंशाअल्लाह। वीडियो अपलोड कर जल्दी। यहाँ पे सारा मुसलमान भाई मिलकर मंदिर की हिफाजत कर रहे हैं।
So some Muslims came out, and I will give them a benefit of the doubt. They came out and they encircled the temple, and they said, we're going to protect the temple. It's our responsibility. Now, we can take it on good faith, but we can't blame those Hindus who are not taking it on good faith. And they have quite compelling arguments as well. They say that they are protecting it because then they're afraid of the backlash. They're afraid that now it will be Muslims' turn. Why can't they start burning mosques now? Who's going to stop a Hindu from burning mosques? Now, I'm not propagating. I think that would be a very condemnable action. But how would you tell them not to do it? How would you stop them from not doing it? And I don't think there is any compelling. There would be no compelling reason for them not to do it. If they don't do it, they only won't do it out of their goodness or out of respect for law and order or out of respect for their country. That's the only reason why they won't do it. But we know that there's a far-right Hindutva movement rising in India, and because of actions like these, Hindus are also becoming more radicalized and becoming more right-wingy. Just like we've seen in Italy, we've seen in Germany, we've seen in other European countries, we've seen in America with the rise of Trump. We've seen what used to be liberal dominated countries, they're becoming more and more radicalized. They're being pushed further and further towards the right. And although I don't belong to them, I don't like their politics, but I can understand where they're coming from. Unfortunately, this Islamization or these radical Muslims are radicalizing the whole world. Everyone is getting radicalized now because they need to protect their culture, they need to protect themselves. It's very sad, but I think even the bleeding heart leftist and snowflakey tree huggers, I think they would also wake up to this very soon. They would start seeing this. As Pakistan is learning now that all those modern progressive Muslims, celebrities who stay quiet when a non-Muslim gets killed or kidnapped or forcefully married off to a radical Muslim, they stay quiet. They're actually complicit in that. They're responsible for that. And now they're going to realize when the fire reaches out to them, now they're starting to get burnt. And Sabah Kamar is just one example. And I'm worried. There'll be so many other modern progressive Muslims. There will be not only just modern progressive Muslims, but also those who actively push forward these kind of views. They will start getting burnt as well. To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.